In modern politics, the boundary between a private strategy session and a public scandal is thinner than ever. A single hypothetical comment intended for a small room can instantly detonate across the national stage. This is exactly what happened to Budi Arie. A recording from a private gathering leaked online, capturing him suggesting that the current administration's timeline could potentially be cut short. The response on social media was immediate and fierce. Within hours, the audio clip was being circulated as evidence of Makar, or treason, fueling accusations that a coup was being plotted from within. Speculations centered on former President Joko Widodo, framing the comments as a directive from the very top of the previous administration. The target of this alleged conspiracy was the current president, Prabowo Subianto. The narrative described a sudden, irreparable fracture between the two leaders who had campaigned together. But the context behind the recording suggests a different reality. To understand how this happened, we have to look at how a standard political exercise was stripped of its meaning and weaponized. The event was a silaturahmi, a community gathering of Projo volunteers. These are the grassroots supporters who have served as a loyal political engine for years. Budi Arie maintains he was conducting standard scenario mapping, using scenarios A through D to anticipate future shifts. His analysis focused on the gap between high expectations and actual delivery. If the administration fails to execute, public support could erode rapidly. He specifically cited the free nutritious meal program. While the policy was a cornerstone of the campaign, Budi noted that any failure in its implementation would lead directly to grassroots frustration. Drawing on his history as a 1998 activist, Budi argued that internal critique is a democratic necessity. In his view, warning the leadership about potential failure is an act of loyalty, not subversion. This internal exercise was a mechanism for course correction, an attempt to ensure the government's survival by identifying its weakest points. The recording originated from a volunteer named Freddie, who filmed the session on his phone without any official authorization or organizational instruction. The video was shared into a private WhatsApp group, quickly extracted and uploaded to public platforms, losing its original context with every share. Once the footage reached the public, political actors isolated the most provocative sentences. Removing the surrounding discussion of policy and logistics, they transformed an analytical warning into a threat. This created two primary narratives: a secret plot for treason and a definitive split between Jokowi and Prabowo. However, Joko Widodo was sitting directly next to Budi Arie throughout the entire meeting. Instead of plotting a transition, Jokowi spent the meeting citing positive economic data, pointing to 5% growth and controlled inflation to reassure volunteers the administration was on a stable path. The viral storm relied on a calculated omission. The sensationalism only worked by ignoring the actual conversation happening in the room, in favor of a fragmented audio clip. Budi Arie moved quickly to contain the damage, issuing a statement to decouple his personal political analysis from President Jokowi's official stance. He apologized to those made uncomfortable by the leak, while reiterating his belief that discussing political scenarios is a fundamental part of the democratic process. The controversy forced a public reaffirmation of the Jokowi-Prabowo alliance, using figures like Gibran Makabuming Raka to signal that the coalition remained unified. This incident highlights a growing vulnerability in modern politics. When internal debates are leaked, the nuance of strategic foresight is easily relabeled as malice. The leak demonstrates the high stakes of internal candor. For leaders, the risk is that a single unauthorized recording can turn a private strategy session into a national crisis. Ultimately, this case shows that in a hyper-connected environment, the impact of a video is often determined by the framing applied to it, rather than the facts of the event itself.